YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to yet another Identity V video. And today we are going to be talking about and analyzing the new character adjustments for Sculptor and Bon Bon, or also known as Guard 26. Before we get into the video, I would like you guys to know, next video I'm going to go back to doing face cam. A lot of you guys have requested I go back to doing face cam. For some reason, I don't know why you want to see my face, but I guess sure. Okay. We are going to be going back to that in the next video. But for today, we are analyzing Sculptor and Bon Bon character adjustments. Nerfs, for the most part. I mean, to say the least, they're pretty much just getting nerfed. So first, we're going to go over Sculptor a little. We're going to talk about Sculptor, we're going to analyze that a little bit, and then we'll go over Bon Bon. So first, Sculptor. The only change Sculptor is receiving, it may not seem like a big deal, but it actually is. So the change Sculptor is receiving is decrease the duration of the Hieroglyphic Graveyard from 16 to 12 seconds and increases the cooldown before you can use it again from 12 to 20 seconds. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Graveyard is, it's basically the chisel that you can throw, like, you know, across the map and harass ciphers while you camp. I'm sure most of you have experienced that. The Sculptor could throw it across the map and use the statues to, to her benefit, even though she's not near where she used the chisel, but it can be thrown anywhere across the map. So yeah, basically that's what's getting nerfed. So the amount of time that it lasts, so you can have it up for 16 seconds, and this is kind of a big deal. So a lot of people are like, this is probably not too big of a deal, but you can literally, while you camp, throw a chisel, okay, onto a cipher machine and just leave it there without using the statues, and the survivors cannot continue to decode that cipher, because if they do, you get a free statue hit because they're not moving, right? It's like throwing a remote bomb, rather than Bon Bon, onto a cipher machine. And the survivor can't decode it, or else they're just going to take quarter damage. So instead of 16 seconds of a survivor not decoding a cipher machine, which is incredible cipher control, it's down to 12. So that's a pretty, significant difference. Additionally, the cooldown is now 20 seconds instead of 12. This actually isn't as relevant because usually you only use one chisel or one spike, when you're camping before someone comes in for a save. But it could make a big difference, in late game situations. Also, if you happen to miss your chisel and throw it on the wrong area, you're not gonna be able to reuse it. Good sculptors won't miss, but sometimes you do. The biggest deal is that it only lasts 12 seconds now instead of 16. So, most people think that that's maybe Sculptor's, weakest ability is the spike. It's actually one of her best, because if you get in a situation where, say, a survivor goes in for a rescue, like a mercenary, and you hit them once with a statue, and you get them with a regular hit, and you leave them at a quarter health left, you can throw the chisel onto onto another cipher, and then if you have full presence, you can snipe that survivor, snipe that mercenary, and then they will go down, and that's someone on the ground for free. It's almost as if you double hit the rescuer, right, when you actually didn't. So if there's any point where someone's like a quarter health left, you can literally just snipe them with full, sometimes you don't have full presence, but if you have full presence, it's more likely to hit. And the fact that you only have 12 seconds now instead of 16, and a cooldown of 20 seconds instead of 12, that is significantly more difficult to actually do that. So sculptors would literally win games by sniping someone with the chisel ability, and now it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that, because now, if someone's priming the last cipher and they get sniped, they go down, they can't pop the last cipher while someone goes in for a save. That's just a win for the sculptor. But now it's going to be a lot harder to get that snipe because of that longer cooldown and that shorter duration of that graveyard ability. So that is a pretty big deal. Again, I don't know how much of a huge difference it'll make. Sculptor, we talk about Sculptor as a broken character. Even some players would consider them S tier. I personally consider Sculptor very high A+, probably the best A+ character in the game. Dream Witch being the only S tier, but Sculptor is very powerful, very hard to kite, because you can literally just put statues, in pallets, at windows, whatever, and it's really hard for the survivors to avoid them. On top of that, she has a very hard hitbox to read, and a very big, very wide and pretty long hitbox for the most part. So that's kind of the thing with Sculptor, is that she's just a very good, and on top of that, she has good camp, good cipher control, incredible late game with her full presence, as well as throwing that chisel. And now that that's getting nerfed, I think that can bring her down to a solid A+ tier character. She's not going to be quite as close to S tier. She's still going to be very strong, don't get me wrong, and Sculptor mains are going to keep playing her 100%. She's still a very good character. She's just not going to be S tier potential anymore, but will still be A+, for the most part. So that's my analysis on Sculptor. We're going to talk about Bon Bon in a minute. But yeah, with that nerf, think she'll be brought down a little bit, and in terms of you know where she is on a tier list. And yeah, so that's going to be Sculptor's nerf. Moving on to the next hunter, which is Bon Bon. Bon Bon's nerf is a little bit more complex. So basically, it reads: after getting damaged by a bomb, survivors get 1.2 seconds of immunity from any bomb damage. So basically, what they're saying is after you get hit by a bomb, you cannot be damaged by another bomb for the next 1.2 seconds, which in reality is a big deal. It doesn't seem like a lot because you're like, oh, you know, Bon Bon throws a bomb, chains the bomb, hits me, right? Okay, well, 2 seconds later, they're going to throw another bomb and chain me with the other one and get a hit. So the 2 seconds is already up because it's 2 seconds, you know, before the next bomb activates. Well, that's actually not the big deal. The chase isn't what's getting nerfed. It's the rescuing. On top of that, bombs can no longer interrupt rescuing. Before, if you got bombed while going in for a save, it would cancel, you know, the rescue animation, and you'd have to restart it, which would allow for Bon Bon to throw more bombs or potentially get a terror shock. But now, if you go in for a rescue while you get bombed, you no longer will cancel the rescue. The rescue will still go off. Now, obviously, that does risk, you know, getting a terror shock, whatever, but it benefits the survivors immensely. But, you know, less about that. It's more of the 1.2 seconds. So what a lot of Bon Bons do nowadays is they'll throw a bomb kind of off to the side, so the corner of the bomb is, you know, on the chair where the survivor's rescuing, and then they'll chain the bomb. They'll chain one bomb on the survivor to get the first quarter damage, hit them, and then the bomb that's off to the side will explode at that moment as well, and you'll get them for the second hit. But now you can't do that, so it's like consecutive bomb hits. So you have a 5-second bomb off to the side, and you chain bomb someone for the first hit, and the 5-second bomb detonates at the same time, and you get a double hit because it's 2 separate bombs. And then you hit them down with a regular hit, and you get the stuff, and you can stuff the save. But now that the bombs can't damage you within 1.2 seconds, you can no longer do that strategy. So you are left to a final resort of essentially chaining bombs only while camping, right? So you have to get a bomb chain for the first hit, and then get another bomb chain for the second hit, and then you can stuff a rescue that way. But survivors can simply just rescue, and now that bombs no longer interrupt the rescuing, you know, animation, it's a lot easier for survivors to save. The biggest thing that kept, I actually don't, you know, I think there could have been other nerfs. I actually don't even think Bon Bon necessarily needed a nerf. If anything, it would be with the chase. I think Bon Bon's camp is strong and should stay where it is. But the fact that they're nerfing his camp this much is, even as a survivor main, you know, you guys know I'm a survivor main. Even I think this is unnecessary, personally. I think that, you know, a better nerf might have been, it's hard to say. Maybe cooldowns for bombs are a little bit less, or a little bit longer while you're chasing someone. I think that's what needs to be nerfed. Bon Bon is very good chase. But the camp is not the issue. While the camp may be broken, that's what Bon Bon's built for. He's built to be a heavily strong camping hunter. He does not have very good cipher control, and he relies on camp. And now that the camp is getting nerfed significantly, it's going to be a lot harder for Bon Bon mains to actually win games. Because it'll be a lot more difficult to stuff rescues, and you'll be relying more on terror shocks than anything to get, you know, stuff rescues as Bon Bon. It's pretty much just a timing thing, and for the most part, that is pretty lucky. So, you know, there's not much, you know, you can really do as a Bon Bon camping-wise other than just simply chain bombs. Again, you know, the biggest thing you could do is you could timer bomb someone from a distance as they come in for a save, and then follow up with a chain hit and stuff the rescue. But, you know, now you don't have that option. Or now you don't have the option of the other camp. Sorry, you do have that option. That is going to be the main way of stuffing rescues. But if it's a mercenary, it's going to be very difficult. Extremely difficult. So mercenary is going to be very strong. You know, even Seer can give owl to the rescuer, can make them as, you know, durable as a mercenary with that owl. So without Bon Bon's, you know, strong camp as it used to be, I think this can nerf him down to A- easily. His chase is going to be very strong, but again, weak cipher control and camp not as strong as it used to be. This is going to make it most likely Bon Bon, you know, turning into an A- tier hunter because of this nerf. And again, I don't think it's necessary. So a quick recap, Sculptor's nerf I think is necessary. I think it is very strong, and I think it's going to make her a lot more balanced. I think she still will be a little bit too good, and she may need to be nerfed again later, but she is closer to being balanced now. I think Bon Bon is actually a little underbalanced now. I think he's not quite as strong as he could be to be balanced. Maybe he'll be balanced. We'll see. I actually don't know for sure. But I do think Bon Bon was nerfed in the wrong area. Again, I think he should be nerfed for chase, not for camp. That is my personal opinion as a survivor main. And from my experience playing Bon Bon, sometimes when I just play Hunter for fun. But yeah, I do know how to play Hunter, guys. Don't get me wrong. I am a Cyclops 2 right now. I'm almost Dragon. But I do prioritize Survivor. So that is my opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about these nerfs. What do you think the devs could have done differently? What do you think NetEase could have done differently? And how do you think this will impact the game? I really want to know your guys' opinions. Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the video, guys. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.